Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your computer teacher, and today we are going to continue with the same chapter working with lists in Python. And in previous session we already discussed about some of the library functions of list, and in this session we will continue with those library functions belongs to list. So today first we'll discuss about count function. This method counts and return how many times a specific element occurs in a list. So that means this function can also be used to search a particular element. That means because it returns the number of occurrences of that particular item, or you can say element inside the list. So in here in this example we are having these elements 1 2 2 2, and when you will search using count function for this two element, then it will return 3 because 2 occurs 3 times. So let's demonstrate how we can use this function. So presently I'm having a list of numbers, and some numbers are uh, repeating 2 times or 3 times or whatever will be change. So let's decide, or I'll specify, I will declare a variable n is equal to x dot count. I'm going to search element 2, then print n, save it, and element with the value 2 occurs 2 times here. So let's try to change. So now 2 occurs 3 times. So the result is 3. But if you will search from for some not existing element, then it will return 0. So 0 means it will that element is not available, and a greater than 0 value, if the function will return, that means that particular element is available inside the list. Next we are having pop function. This method removes and return last or specific element from a list. So that means this function perform two different tasks. One, it will fetch the specified element available at the given index position, and after returning that element it will remove that particular element. So this function is having two different forms. One, we can make a call to this function without any parameter. Then if you will call this function without any parameter, without specifying any index, then it will remove the last item, last element from the list. But if you will specify the index of some particular item, then it will remove that particular item or element available at that index position. So here we are having example like here I am having three elements A, B and C inside the list. When you will remove when you will specify first index position inside the pop function, then it will remove item or element available at first index position. Presently we are having B at first index position, and before removing it will store the value available at that particular index position inside this variable. So the value of B will be stored into X, and after that it will remove that element from the list. So if you will print the value of X, then the value will be the element available at first index, and if you will print the list, then the list is available without that particular element. Let's demonstrate how we can make use of this pop function. So presently I am having a list, a numeric list containing these elements. So I'm going to declare n equals to x dot pop, then I'll specify 3, 0, 1, 2 and 3. This element is available at third index position. So that means we are going to remove third element from the list, but before removing that element it will fetch and store the value of that particular element inside n. So after making a call to pop function, if you will print the value of n, then it will print this particular element. But if you will print elements of list, I'm going to use only print function instead of traversing the elements. So if you will print the value of elements of a list, then it will print all the elements without this particular element, because pop function will remove this particular element from the list. Let's try this. So here we are having 10. That element has been removed from the list, but before removing that element, it returns that the value of that element and store the value inside the variable n. So that is all about how we can make use of this pop function. But if you will make a call to this function without any parameter, then it will automatically remove and return the last element from the list, because presently we are having last element is that is 60. So if here we didn't specify any index position, then it will remove and return the last element. Let's check this one. So presently it returns last element, that is 60, and remove that particular element from the list. So that is all about how we can make use of a pop function without any parameter or with specifying an index position. Next function that we are having is list function. This method takes a sequence as a parameter and convert them into a list. So that means this function will convert elements of a sequence into a list. So sequence may be string or any tuple, right? And if people are having, this one is the syntax list, then name of the sequence. For example, here we are having a sequence that is s1 is equal to hello. So that means it's a sequence that is of which type? String type. And next I want to convert this string, the elements of this string, into a list. So we are using list function, and we have passed as a string variable as a parameter to this function, and it will convert string to list. So that means, so when you will print the elements of this list, then all the characters will be displayed as the list elements. And next we are having tuple example. We can create a tuple by using these round brackets, and these are the elements of tuple. We'll discuss tuple in next lectures also. So then in this tuple, when you will pass the name of tuple inside the list, then it will convert the tuple into a list, and here we are having elements of a list. So let's demonstrate how we can make use of this list function. So first we'll use list function with the string. So I'm going to store Cambridge inside a string variable. So s1 is a string. Now I want to convert the elements of string into a list elements. So just specify name of list. I specify name as x is equal to list, and inside the list function you have to pass the name of that string. And now if you will print the elements of list, then just check this one. So that string, elements of that string have been converted to a list, right? And presently we are having elements inside list, each character individually. And if you want to make use of this function with a tuple, then I'm going to declare a tuple t is equal to any element that you can store, 12, 4, 5, 23, and now pass the name of the tuple inside the list, and just try to check the elements. So now the elements of tuple now converted to a list element. So that is all about how we can make use of this list function. Next function that we are having is index function. This method returns the index of specified element from a list. So that means with the help of this function, we'll be able to search a given element from the list, and it will return the position of that particular element, index position. But if no element found, then it throws an exception. So that means if that particular your given element is not available inside the list, then it will generate an exception, runtime error. and the program will be terminated. Here we are having two different forms of using this index function. First we can pass an element only, then it will return the index of that particular, the first occurrence, the index of the first occurrence of that particular element from the list. And if you can you will use these optional parameters also, then it will start the search for this element from this index position and until this index position till the end position. So here we are having all the elements inside the list A, B, C, D, E, and when you, if you will try to search C element, then C element is available at second index position, then that means it will return 2. So let's demonstrate how we can make use of this function. So here we are having a numeric list of these elements. So just try to search the position I is equal to x dot index, and I want to search 55, this element. And if you will print, then it will return the position, index position of that 55. Presently the 55 element is available at second index position, then it will return 2. But if you will pass some non-existing element, that is 58, then this function will return throw an exception that 55 58 is not in a list. So that means it will generate a runtime error, that is the exception. So next we can make use of this function, or if you will pass 3, then it will return 1 because the index position of 3 is 1. And next we'll discuss about the second form of this same function, that is we can pass start and end index also. So presently the 3 is available at 1 index, but if you will start searching this element from second position, from this to further elements, then till and the end index I will specify 4, or you can pass 5 also, or anything that you want to pass. So the starting position of for the searching of for this element is second, and end position is 4. So that means it will search this element starting from this index position till this index position. So let's check this one. So system generates an error because 3 is not available after this index position, starting from this index position, because the search starts from second index position. So but if you will remove these elements, these parameters start and end index, then it will return the position of 3, that is 1. So that is all about how we can make use of this index position by specifying the element only, or by specifying the start and end index also. Next function that we are having is max function. As the name suggests, this function returns elements having the maximum value from a homogeneous list. So the first condition is that the list must be of homogeneous type. That means all elements should be belongs to same data type. So here we are having syntax of max function. You have to pass the name of the list inside this max function, and it will return a maximum element. So presently if you are going to pass string elements, then all the elements should be of string type, because we can use this function only with the homogeneous list. So it will presently, according to this example, it will return z, because z is the maximum value from this list, and in case of numeric list it will return 45 in case of these values. So let's demonstrate how we can make use of this max function. I'll declare a variable like m is equal to, so here we are having elements and 67 is the maximum value, and when you will make a call like max, then x, then print the value of m, then it will return 67. Just try to run this. So the result is 67. So that is all about how we can make use of this max function. And in the same way, we are having a next function, that is min function, and this method returns the element having the minimum value from a homogeneous list, and the rules are same, that we must declare a homogeneous list of elements, and the use is same, syntax is same. So let's demonstrate how we can make use of this function. So if you will use min function instead of max, then it will return the minimum value. Presently we are having 3, that is the minimum element with the minimum value. So just try to run this one. So here we are having 3. So that is all about how we can make use of this min function. So it was all about this present session. If you people are having any kind of doubt related